T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You're now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to Trap Talk Reptile Podcast, episode 410. That's 410. What is good, everybody? I'm your boy, MJ. Welcome to tonight's new breeder on the block from my man, Tony B from Next Level Morphs. It's going to be a great show tonight. I'm your boy, MJ. What's good? Hope everyone had a great weekend, but it's Monday. We're here. We're going to get a lit, baby. If this is your first time hanging out with us, you're into keeping reptiles, either breeding, admiring, keeping as a pet, whatever. It's the place to be right here, man. You learn about all the good stuff about the reptiles, all the relevant breeders and keepers, and all the historical stuff about reptiles right here on this channel. All right? So hitting that subscribe button helps you out, helps me out. Appreciate all the love and support. Hit that notification bell, select all, and you'll be notified for every single podcast. Anything I drop on this channel will notify you. Okay? So if you happen to listen to the Trap Talk Reptile Podcast on all the major audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, all the major ones, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Thank you to no matter where you listen to this podcast. It really means a lot, but really for the guest. Okay, so thank you so much for being a part of this. Early birds, what's good? If you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to get more than out of what you see here on the show, and you want to get more behind the scenes, you want to network yourself a little better, you want to meet some real deal keepers, go down to the very first link you see in the description below. Click on it. Join the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord. That will tap in with over 185 trappers, all right? Cracking in the Discord. Then you also get connected to the IG group, all right? And then so much exclusive content to come for the Patreon. One of the things that's so amazing when you join the Patreon, every Sunday we get together with the V-Unit family. That's my dog Emilio, Big E, Top G, all right? We have collabed our families, and we get together every Sunday. It's face-to-face. We meet each other. You know, we connect, and then we grow. That's exactly how this shit goes. And here's my big bro, Emilio Villarino. I don't know where this energy came from, bro. I've been dragging ass all day, and here I am. I think I'm just happy to be here.
You're finally coming back, bro, from the COVID?
Maybe. Yeah, I guess. But I'm happy to be here always. Thanks for being here on another Monday night, my man, Big E. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. Thank you for having me.
How was your weekend?
Solid, man. Had a good show.
You've ended.
Yeah. Tampa.
What was the name of the show?
Tampa Repticon. It's probably the biggest Repticon show in Florida.
Tampa Repticon.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you, I mean? You have no issues with the Repticon, do you? Like as far as the show goes?
I mean, at the end of the day, they run Florida, bro.
Hey, I mean,
other than Daytona, I mean, and Reptilian Nation, you know, now we got scales, but yeah, you know, Repticons all over the state, bro.
I forgot when this was. It was during when Bavu had issues with Repticon, but a bunch of people jumped on that bandwagon about like fuck Repticon, but a lot of them came from people who never actually went to a Repticon, you know. So it's cool to actually hear from someone who actually goes to Repticons. And still, like, you know, it's obviously worth your while, right? Like, you have no issue with the show itself, right?
Well, I mean, listen, it's probably not worth everyone's while, but I do well. I can't complain. Go out there and represent the hobby well, bring people into the game, have a good time, you know?
Yep.
You know, I could understand both sides of the coin, you know, with some of the things that have been said about the show market in Florida and whatnot, but right. Hey, it's up to us to go out there, and you know, we have an opportunity to go out there and represent and make money. We're gonna do it.
You just said it, opportunity. You find opportunities, and that's what kind of gets you to what you need, right? I mean, coming from a huge sales background, it was all about opportunities. That's what it was all about. So Right on, man. Well, listen, speaking of representing, a lot of people in the live chats ready to represent. But before we even do that, I got a little ahead of myself. Didn't even shout tonight's sponsor. I'm sorry. Why don't we slow down here, MJ? Fuck. All right. You want to know who doesn't slow down? This guy, my man, Miguel Garcia, always evolving pythons, was just at a Laker game, courtside seats. Fuck. What a guy. Shout out to my man, Miguel. Shout out to the entire AEP family. The whole family's growing. It's sad to see, but been really close to this family for the last 5 years. And just the growth behind Always Evolving Pythons has been more inspiring than anything else. So if you want to be inspired with me and many, many others, go to Always Evolving Pythons on IG, give him a follow. More importantly, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. All right, Always Evolving Pythons. This is the big dog right here, man. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Probably the biggest, newest dog to ever make fucking like this much ground in the ball python game, 110%. So, and I'm not asking anyone's opinion on that. This is just how I feel. So, love you, Miguel. Thank you so much. Appreciate the love and support. Also, man, shout out to Freedom Breeder, #1 stainless steel rack in the game, mainly because of the shelf. I'm not gonna lie, man. That shelf is so hard. I like pulling it out, and I think it's very useful for many, many things. But also, when you have something that's been around since the 90s, my man Emilio's been around a little bit longer than the 90s, but I'm just saying he respects OG shit. All right. Oh my God. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to the entire Freedom Breeder crew. If you got a Freedom Breeder rack, pat yourself on the back, man. That's professional level of keeping, no matter what anyone says. So, yeah, shit. Also, last but not least, next time you got to ship your reptiles, use Ship Your Reptiles. #1 reptile shipping company in the game. The OGs, the professionals, use Ship Your Reptiles. Shave that $15 off that as well. Use promo code TRAPTALK. Sorry for Emilio's microphone fucking noise that he just made right now. All right, early birds. Let's go. Let's see who's here. My voice is gonna round out on the early birds. This is crazy. Revolutionary, Morphs, Ray, Trap Talk, Trapper, B Unit, all day, every day, Suspect. He's all of them. You gotta love it. You gotta love all the representatives, man. The whole gang. Morph Valley.
Man, Freddie, thank you, dog. Love you, dog.
Okay, let's see it. Let's see it.
Look at that.
Did he draw that? What's the story behind this?
He paid. There's a breeder here in Florida that's daughter does artwork, man. Her name is Emma.
Right.
The family, I think it's MB Reptiles, the Matlins. Man, they're amazing.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, he paid for that for me, bro.
That's hard. That's hard. Shout out to Willie B Exotics.
Surprise gift.
We have to keep going, unfortunately. Okay, Emilio, do you mind? Willie B Exotics, what's good? Thanks for tapping in. Hey, this comment kind of made me warm inside. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna read it just because I feel like it's inspiring. Another fire ass episode. MJ, thank you for everything that you do. Your podcast really helps me out in how I keep my ball pythons. Okay, damn, I wish it was going to be something else, but it's okay. Ball pythons, I really appreciate you and your guest, V-Unit. I think he's saying we appreciate Villarino right here is what he's saying. And I appreciate this comment. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Willie B Exotics. Travis Gordon in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Big Mike, 76 Exotics. OG Trap Talk Patreon member. Miller's Menagerie in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Look who it is. The homie. The young player. JD. Dude, Meteoric Serpents, you need to go head over to his podcast right now because he has a podcast. He just started a podcast. Colubrid Corruption. All right. CCR. Wait. Colubrid Corrupt. Never mind. Colubrid Corruption. Go tap in. The young future of this hobby has a podcast, and you should go tap in with it. Every Sunday, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. That late night show for a Sunday. For any late night heads out there. There's late night heads out there for sure trying to listen to some reptile content. Feel me? Feel me, Emilio? You feel me?
Yes, sir.
North Star Exotics in the building. Big Mike. What's up, player? Thanks for tapping in. All City Serpents in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Heath and Hatchery in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Cassandra in the building, who must know Tony. Because what is Nibby? It has to be a relative. Has to be. We'll find out. I'll ask him. Thanks so much, Cassandra, for being. I want to know what Nibby is. Celtic Reptiles in the building. What's good? Eric's More Factory in the building. What is good? And Sammy Vargas in the building. What is good? Damn, we got Windy City Morphs in the building representing what is good. And we're going to end it in style, man, because I love Chicago. I think Chicago's hard as fuck. And I think it's just go time already because it's It's Tony B time, bro. You ready for this episode or what, Emilio?
Let's go.
All right, let's do this shit. Listen, do what you got to do to get your mind right. Do what you got to do to stay hydrated. It's episode 410. My man, Tony B. Next level morphs for this new breed on the block. Let's go. Ching! You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
We're live, episode 410. My man, Tony B. What's up, Tony?
What is up? What's up, everybody?
Damn, here he is. Hey, first and foremost, Emilio, Tony, Emilio.
How's it? Nice to meet you, man.
Someone who's relevant. Also meet someone who's relevant. This is great. This is what I love. This is so amazing. Tony, what's amazing is you're here, bro. Can you believe it?
This is weird. This is surreal, bro. Like this is like I said earlier. I remember about a year and a half ago or so, wherever it was, that Repticon or Reptile Super Show in Vegas when I first met you. You mentioning, hey, we'll get you on the show one of these days, and I would have imagined it would have been this soon. So
Well,
thank
dude,
you for having me.
all right, peep game, bro. You know how they say it, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I do. We gotta shout the reason why I even know who you are, and that's because of this guy right here, Jacob. Letter better fatter. Shout out to Civil Circuit. You know, Jacob. I was at Las Vegas Reptile Super Show. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's where it was, right?
Yeah.
You know, obviously there was a transaction happening between you and Jacob, and you know,
it wasn't planned. Yeah,
it wasn't planned, but like what was exciting for me was because I've seen Jacob just start just how I've seen you start. You know what I mean? And Jacob had something at his table that not a lot of people had. Period. At this time, this was
it was the only one.
One of the only ones, and I couldn't believe my homie Jacob had this. We had DG Clown combo. Did it have something else in it? Fire? Or
It's
no?
a leopard, Inchy leopard, DG Clown.
And this is 2021 or 2022.
I want to say tail end, maybe the beginning of 22.
It was September though, wasn't the Vegas show in September?
It was September. Yeah, it was. So was it 20? No, it was 22, wasn't it?
It was 22. So it was about a little over a year ago.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just saying, man, to see someone who's just not, I didn't know who you were, right? And hear this, and this is a proven point that so many people get into this game without making a scene, or they just straight buy fucking heat and they're quiet about it and they're just having fun. And I saw that's what you were doing. I remember telling you, hey man, I'm gonna get you on the show someday. And you're like, what? Fuck, like you couldn't, you know, you thought I was tripping, and I was like, no, I'm not tripping, bro. Someday it's gonna happen. And weird. Sure enough, it wasn't that long ago though, which is crazy. And here you are, bro.
Time flies, man. I remember. So that Saturday morning, I woke up. I wasn't planning on going to that show, but I live about 3.5 hours away from Vegas, in the Inland Empire, you know. And so I woke up that morning and I was like, man, if I don't go to that show, I'm gonna regret it. So I was like, I just rallied and said, you know what, I'm going. And I got up, got dressed, took a shower, got dressed, and just headed on over there. And I'm so glad I did, because that booth that day, you were in the booth of there was a bunch of guys that are like good friends to me now. Jerome from No Limit, obviously Jacob from Civil, and Andrew Redwood and Troy and Antoine from High Desert, and all those guys now are just you know, they're like brothers now. They're people I got lucky and met a lot of good people early, and Jacob was the first person I bought my first snake from. Actually, the sibling to that animal that I never would have even dreamed of getting. Like once I got her, that was it. Like that, we were all in. We're going for it. So that wasn't even for sale. That had a not for sale. That was NFS at the show. He brought it to show what he can do, and there it was. And so I know that there were people interested in it at that show, but I unexpectedly showed up, and you know, it was that animal still. Every time I open her tub, I'm like, seriously, come on, really? So right. I love it. I love opening tubs, man. That's one of my favorite things to do.
And also, guys, I mean, I don't need to say the figure, but this was not like current DG prices right now, what he paid.
Yeah.
Like, this dude dropped fucking cheese, where I looked at Jacob in his face and he's like, yeah. And I was like, what? But anyways, I have so many questions, right? What made you have the balls to want to even go ahead and get into a game like this, spend this kind of money? Well, I want to know what it was that you came across, what motivated you. There had to be something to spark this fire, and I want to know what that was.
Yeah, God, that's one of those questions, man. That's tough. It's kind of a long-winded answer. Are you ready for that?
Bring it on, bro.
All right. Well, you know, I like I said, I was recently talking about this, and I wanted to get a ball python as a pet. And when I decided to do it, I'm one of those guys that likes to do research. I'll research for months before I do anything. And in doing my research, I wanted to know about what morphs there are, what are morphs, what is all this stuff, where do I buy them? I'm not going to a pet store to buy one, so I know there's better places. I did the same thing with the bearded dragon about 10, 11 years ago. And so I discovered Morph Market, stumbled upon that, and started looking at stuff, and I was like, wow, these things aren't cheap. If you want something cool, they're not cheap. And back in the day, I was, you know, kind of a little bit of a comic book nerd, and I saw that there was a morph called the Batman, and I was like, ooh, what does that look like? So I saw that, and at the time, this was the tail end of 2021, and I was just like, that's cool, I want that. So I started going in and saving stuff. I was saving, on Morph Market, you can create a list and save, and so I started saving stuff, and had a whole list of stuff. I was like, this one's cool, ooh, this isn't a Batman, but this is cool. Everything seemed to be clown that I was attracted to. And they weren't cheap, especially then. Batmans were more than, like, Batmans now are, you know, a lot cheaper, but then they were not. And so the next day I went in to check my list and add more stuff, and I saw stuff just gone, like sold. I was like, what the heck, dude? What's going on with that? Like, so I was checking that out, and I was just like tripping on that. So I added more stuff that was even higher end than Batman's, like crazy stuff. And I was like, that's cool looking. Let me see what the heck is that? So let me save that. Next day, go in, gone, sold. And I was just like, what? So that's what made me go, wow, man, that's kind of crazy. So when I started researching husbandry for them, and I saw that they really seem to thrive in the tub systems, in the RHACS. And I was like thinking to myself at that point, you know, maybe I can get 2, maybe I can get 3, maybe I can get, you know,
Tony,
a few more.
Tony, can I pause you real quick? Did you come across any bioactive videos that like it sparked your interest?
Yes. No, I know that there's a, you know, there's two ways of thinking on that. And
no, yeah, I'm just curious. I'm curious what your level of thinking was when you saw.
I love bioactive stuff. I mean, if I were going to keep one, I may have probably done some kind of cool bioactive setup with like multiple hides and stuff. Because one of the things I discovered in doing the research, and I researched for months, is that, and I've even experienced now with the tubs, is they like to be in confined, ball pythons like to be in like confined places. They stress out if they're in the open too much. I've moved a couple animals from this, you know, the 10 series RHACS to the bigger RHACS, the, you know, 55 40s a little bit too soon, and then they will go off food. And as soon as I move them back, they're back on food again. So I know that they stress out, and, you know, if they like to be confined to a certain extent. And so once I realized that, I was like, wow, these RHACS systems are cool. I can maybe get multiple snakes. You know, I was thinking that to myself. I wasn't, you know, talking to my wife about this at this point. But in my head, you know, I was like, yeah, maybe I can get more. But then as I was watching these snakes just kind of disappear and just like get sold, that's when the bell kind of rung, and I was just like, wow, maybe I can sell these things, like breed them and sell them, because it's something I've always been interested. I wanted to do the same thing for bearded dragons, and I did the research on that, and there was a lot of space that was required, more space than ball pythons that you would need to do it, if you wanted to do it at the level because my thing is whenever I get into something, I don't half-ass it. I go all in. It's just the way I've always been, whatever it is. And so
I feel like this hobby attracts people like that.
it probably does, and it's probably, for sure, I can see that. But yeah, once I realized I can possibly do this for more than just a hobby, I did way more research. Then before I bought even my first one, I did another few months of research before I bought my first one, and that's when I created a business plan of, okay, it was kind of for myself to see, like, okay, let's see this. I went all the way back to the 90s to now and just looked at graph chart. I mean, it was ridiculous. I've never done anything like this, but I was just researching, okay, seriously, why are these things selling like this? And what's the market? What was the market like in the past? What's it like, now? What's it going to be like in the future? And so I did that for quite a while. I put this whole business plan together.
Hey, Tony, how did you look up past market history? I'm just curious. That's
pretty easy, man.
Smart.
Google's your best friend. I wanted to see how were they selling in the 90s, like how were they selling in the early 2000s and now. And you can see graph charts of that stuff, and it's always, even through the recessions, because we have those.
Really? I didn't know that was available. That's a smart way of thinking, though. Like, I never anyways, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So even through the recessions, there's always people that want to buy reptiles. I mean, not just ball pythons, but reptiles in general. There's no age requirement for that. It could be young people, it could be middle-aged people, it could be even old people like discover, oh, snakes are not gonna take my head off. Like, these are cool animals. There's always somebody, no matter what age bracket there is, that discovers how cool reptiles can be. And so that was something that showed in the research and all the graphs and charts. I put this thing together. It took me, I've never done that before. I've never put together a business plan. I've always worked for somebody else. I've never worked or done anything that was just for me. So I put a lot into it, whether it was good or bad. I put all this stuff together, and I eventually, my plan was to present it to my wife. And she's one that she will be brutally honest. She's not one to hold back. She's the most honest person. Yeah, 100%. And she's owned her own business for 23 years. So
that's a plus.
So I know she knows.
What business, Tony? I have to ask. I'm sorry. What business?
She owns a dance studio.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so she teaches kids, and she's been doing that for 23 years. And I see the amount of work and effort she puts in. It's 7 days a week.
That's awesome.
So I know that she knows what it takes to make something work. So I knew that if I put a business plan together, I did it for me to see if it was real, if it was something I can actually do. But two, and it's a long game, and I put that in the plan. And my inspiration, one of my main inspirations, and I used him in that plan, was Miguel Garcia. And
hey, Tony, what a guy, huh?
Dude, that dude's yeah.
I want Emilio to meet Miguel so bad. I feel like that'd be great.
I'm
gonna be right there for that too.
I've
talked to him a couple times, but I would love to meet him one of these days. And I think he's uncomfortable with the compliments, because I've told him what an inspiration he's been, and I don't think he does well with that.
I tell him he loves it when I tell him. I think
really?
He
he's been huge.
Keep telling him, bro. He likes it.
I'll keep telling him. He was in that business plan. I used him in there. She had no idea when I presented this plan. It was, dude, when she came home that night, she had no idea. I had a manila folder with a bunch of stuff in it, charts and stuff like that, and she had no idea I was going to spring this on her. She came home, and she works, crazy hours to do the studio. Oh, and she came home one night, and I was like, hey, I want to run something by you. I want to see what you think. And I have this folder, and I've got this whole presentation to do. And she's like, all right, okay. So I sat down, and I was like a kid in school doing a book report. I was so nervous.
You thought she was judging you right off the bat, huh? You're like,
well, dude, I'm not good. I'm not good with that kind of stuff. I mean, even being on this show, you're doing it right now, bro. Don't even worry. You're doing great.
I'm loving it. This is a great show so far.
Thanks. So anyways, I did this whole thing for her. Super nervous, kind of got into my groove, and by the time it was done, she just sat there and listened the whole time. And at the end of it, she was just like, "You need to do this." And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, you need to do this." And it validated all the things I was thinking, but also doubted at the same time in my head. And so I was like, "All right, let's do this. We'll do this." And so, yeah, man, she let me use the guest room as a initial. Hey, shout out to Antoine, man. That's my brother right there. Love that guy.
Yeah. Right there.
But yeah, so it basically validated all the things I was thinking in my head. Hey, maybe I can do this. Like maybe I can do something that's just for me, and something I'm passionate about that I want to do. And man, it's been, and that's the thing is, you asked earlier what made me go just right in, like go for it, and not hesitate on stuff. Well, I've been a little bit hesitant on stuff, but still it's because it's scary when you make those big investments on animals, and even this room, we took kitchen money, and we've had some help, but that we were saving to do this room. This was an old dilapidated, this house was built in 1919, and this is a detached garage that was kind of basically just falling apart, collecting junk and rat poop, and so we turned it into this and turned it into something I can use, and it's just been a man, surreal. It's been surreal. It's been amazing. So yeah, that's kind of how I stumbled into this.
I've got a question for you, Tony. What's your background? What did you do before the snakes?
I still do. The only thing I've ever done that's the longest thing I've ever done for over 20 years is install windows and doors, like retrofit. Oh
wow.
Energy efficient windows and doors, and then now I did everything in between, and now I'm just in sales. Now I sell them.
Oh, that's good. That's a good business.
So yeah, it's kind of one of those recession-proof type businesses. Everybody always wants the new windows and doors to save energy. So
how was the whole construction and everything as far as getting that stuff done? Because I know it was not easy sometimes with some of the shit that I had to learn doing my room. But how did it work out for you? Like, as far as the timeline where you wanted it completed and getting the animals in there and how are they acclimating? Let's talk about all that.
It was a process, bro. Like it took longer than I would have liked, but it came out better than I expected. But yeah, there were a lot of unexpected expenses and like having to redo concrete outside of the garage because it was, when we had a hard, heavy rain here for California anyway. It was a heavy rain, and it got all in here.
I loved it, but then we didn't. Our state didn't know how to handle it. It was like too much,
No, they did. But so there was that. I wasn't planning on redoing the siding on this place, and that was another. It's great though because we did 3/8 inch plywood. We over insulated. We did 3/8 inch plywood on the outside, and then we did this wood siding on the outside, so it acts as extra insulation. So this place holds humidity and temperature super good. I've noticed already just in the week. It's only been a week since I've had the animals in here, that they're shedding better. They're happier. You could just see everything. Like it was that my house doesn't have any insulation, so I had to humidifiers and I had to go the extra mile to make sure that they were,
the humidity was a fucking bitch for me in this room for a while. Like, because I don't know if it was just because everything was brand new, or I don't know if it was everything was so fresh, but it was cold and super not humid at all. And
especially in the wintertime. Yeah.
Yep. I had humidifiers everywhere and it just wasn't making a dent. And it was it was a pain in the ass. But I think, once we got into the warmer days, it got more. Yeah. And even right now, it's starting to dry up a little bit, but I could still maintain it now at this point and get it up where it needs to be. But I want to get into where you're at right now, because moving stuff into anything could be tricky, you hear stories about females not only not going that year, but they don't go for a long time and shit like that. But have you had any females lay yet? Where are you at with your breeding?
So breeding wise, my whole this up until now has just been about buying stuff that I want to get into, stuff that I I'm passionate about, that I love, and learning what that is along the way, because I went clown heavy in the beginning, because that was what attracted me to the possibly doing this for more than a hobby initially. So I went clown heavy initially, but really it was just about buying stuff and raising it up. I know that Emilio believes in buying stuff young, raising it yourself, and then breeding it. Give it the time. Take time. It's not. This is something that even in the business plan, I wasn't planning on turning. Like getting a return on investment anytime soon. This was going to be the long game, and I, even though I'm an old guy, I still think that good things take time, and this is one of those things.
What's an old guy? What's old?
I'll be 52 next month.
That's great. What?
You ain't old, bro. You don't look 52.
You definitely don't look 52
Thanks,
at all.
man.
I think you told me that, and I thought you
You're
were
only as old as you feel, bro. If you feel good, fuck that. Don't worry about that.
Oh, dude, I woke up and my knee was killing me this morning, so I feel old, but but yeah, I hear you, man. I still feel like I still look in the mirror sometimes and go, nah, 52, jeez.
Troy,
work on that knee, bro.
Troy's in the building. He's like 68.
I'm older than Troy, but
my bad. I thought Troy's like 68.
No, Troy's a young guy, man. He's a younger, and I love that guy. Troy's been awesome, man. Troy's been instrumental too. He's helped me a lot. Because it hasn't been all, there's been some bumps in the road in this first year and a half. And
what's the biggest bump right now, Tony? You would say that you hurdled over, or maybe you're trying to hurdle over right now.
I would say losing an expensive animal.
Ooh, let's get to that. Man,
I don't want to get too into it. I don't want to it's not one of those things like.
Okay, but was it something? How about we don't have to get into details. We don't need details, but I just was curious. Was it something that was in your collection for a while, or did it arrive? What are we talking about here and how it passed?
It wasn't with me very long, but it was just something that man, it's a bummer. I don't even know that I feel comfortable talking about.
You'll feel better about it. I'm telling you. Listen, I got a freezer full of heartache, man. Don't make me go there. Okay, you just let it out, man.
So I learned a lot from that. I can tell you that, because it's one of those things where if I feel like something's not doing well, and that's the only one that's ever really this happened to me before. I've had animals arrive that I've ordered and not want to eat for a few weeks because they need to settle in, and there's so many. That's the thing about this business or this hobby or this industry, is there's so much to learn. And I love that about this. Like, there's so much, like, I learn every day. I learn from people that have been doing it, not as long as me, doing it, way longer than me, and all in between. There's so many, you can take so much from. That's one of the things that I love about this.
Tony, I just want to know, like, was this something that was never established? You could never get to establish?
Never established. I don't know what the deal was, but
now I'm curious. Now, was this reported or communicated back to the person you bought it from?
Oh, we had a great communication, and I have no issues or qualms with.
So that worked out great then, as far as like what?
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely,
okay.
absolutely.
That's beautiful.
But Troy was instrumental in helping me through that too. And
shout out to Troy for being that guy, because some people are not that lucky, not even a little bit, bro. So that's
absolutely. And Jacob too. Jacob came to my house and showed me how to administer medicine, and like, dude, that same day he actually we'll get into that later, but he actually showed me, gave me some pointers on ultrasounding.
Right.
And that was the day we discovered, and I still didn't believe him. I didn't believe him then, that we discovered that I had a snake that was literally carrying eggs, and I had no idea. So getting into that question about breeding earlier.
Okay, we'll get to that.
So yeah. He's been, dude, that guy's been a great mentor. I bought my first snake from him, and we've been friends ever since. So
back to, but real quick, I don't want to keep beating the whole thing of the snake that passed away, but I'm just saying, did you take it to the extent of taking that snake to a vet and seeing what it was? That was
what we were administering medicine, and at a certain point, I was like, okay, she's back eating again, and she's holding it down because she was regurgitating her meals.
Oh, and what? A ball python?
Yeah, so I was like, why is she doing that? And so she started getting skinny, but then when I got Troy involved, he kind of helped me with some stuff. I won't get into the details of that.
Did you nido test it?
No.
Okay, let me ask you something. At what weight did you receive
I'll be
that
back.
animal? At
What's
what
that?
weight did you receive
She was
that
about
animal?
130, 140 grams.
That's not bad.
Yeah. No, she was good, dude. She just wasn't taking her. I want to say she ate her first meal and it was fine, but then after that, she wouldn't eat, and then when she did eat, it would regurge, and so it was just a period over weeks and stuff like that. But it's something that, like I said, I learned from as soon as I thought, or even just for a second thought that something was wrong. And she was in a quarantine at this time, but I should have taken her to the vet. And even the breeder said as much. Like, if you feel like something's up, take her to the vet. And I didn't do that, so that's on me. So that's one of those things that I learned from.
Yeah.
Well, what I would tell you, any major investment animal that I've bought in the past, I try to get it above 200 grams.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I know anything can happen at any time, right?
That's good advice, actually.
But even something that I sell that's, high end or whatever, I try to ship it at 200 plus.
I like that.
I've rarely seen anything happen after 200 grams.
Yeah. That's good advice. I'm going to take that. And that's what once again, this is what I love about this industry. You learn something every single day. There's a new.
But that said, anything could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have the snake quarantine, or like when you started noticing that it was sick, what'd you do? Did you like keep it still with everything? What'd you do?
No, it was quarantined.
Okay, that's good. Fuck. Yeah, man, because there's just like, I don't know, like there's certain things ball pythons typically never do, and they never regurge. Okay, I'm talking about a wide range of species that I keep, and ball pythons are the most solid fucking thing.
Oh, they're solid.
Out of everything that I keep. So that right there just kind of fucking freaks me out, because it could be a couple things, but something that needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
Did anything?
That's
Nothing got sick after that, though, right? Like that was like your only.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I want to say you dodged a bullet for sure, because guess what? If whatever that thing had was able to keep it in and not show you signs of it, and you put that in with your collection, bro, dude, wait. So you definitely dodged a huge bullet there. I feel like, which is unfortunate because, but man, this is the kind of shit that makes you strong into this too. You know that, Tony. So like this.
Well, I know, so that's the worst thing that's happened, and that's a pretty bad thing. But I know that even treating it at the time when it was still I thought we were in the clear. That's why I didn't take it. And to the vet. And so I was like, wow, okay, I've learned to administer medicine. I've learned how to, even with losing it at the end of the day, I'm like, holy crap, man, I still love this. Like even going through that, I knew, I was like, even with having to deal with other things too, like it's just, I know that I still love this. There's nothing that's going to take me out of this. Like I'm going to just keep grinding and doing this. And so if I can get through that, and I'm sure there'll be more pitfalls, to come, but it's just learning and dealing with them and rolling with it and keep grinding.
That's a big blow, though. I will say that's a pretty big.
It's a big blow, dude. It was a big blow.
But it happens for sure. And like I said, my freezer, bro, goddamn, there's a lot of death in that fucking freezer, bro. But listen, because
what do you mean there's death in the freezer? What do you say?
Because like I understand, Tony, a lot of my upbringings in the beginning were working with imports, so I got in a lot of shit that was fucked up. So I had a lot of vet visits. I had a lot of experiences seeing stuff that I knew could be X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Treatments and all that stuff. And like I said, I never had to deal with that with any ball python ever. And then I do remember speaking to people like Forrest and like even Socrates, because they both dealt. What's crazy is, and no one really knows this, but Soc's he's not ashamed to say, because he said on my own podcast, but he first dealt with Nido with a ball python. It wasn't a chondro. He had Nido from a fucking ball python, and Forrest had ended up getting a ball python that was regurging. That had crypto, but also had Nido. It was like a really big shit show. You know what I mean? But it's also shows you that things can come still from ball pythons, and people don't even know it. And what's the scary thing about ball pythons is they're so German tank-ish that they can hold in a lot of these symptoms, and and you would never know. That's why it's like, holy shit, and testing and all that really isn't a thing in the ball python game. No one Nido tests and fucking in it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people do, pet people do. I'll tell you that much. They're all onto that shit, but either way, I'm just saying, like, fuck, many lessons to continue to learn in this, but that's a big one right there for sure.
Yeah, it was a big one. So yeah, there's still a lot to learn. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and you just got to roll with it.
Okay, so wait, actually, so Jacob was saying that it was eating and thriving, and then it rolled.
Yeah, it was. That's why I didn't take it.
It did eat with you.
Yes. Yeah,
right,
we got
right off the bat. Right off the bat, or did you struggle in the beginning?
After we administered medicine and treated it, it started eating and was doing fine. And I thought, and putting on size, and it started to like, I was like, okay, we're good. And then a weekend later, it was just, I opened the tub and she was gone. So yes.
Well, keepitmoving.com. That's what we're gonna do right here.
Hey, the bog gods. Hey, check it out, man. The bog gods will make it up to you. Trust me.
That's for sure. They already have. They already have. Look at him, man. Look at this guy. He has a sick logo. He has a fucking sick room, which I want to get into, man. The big step, I feel like, a lot of people jump to this step. God bless them. You know, they go straight to the stickers and the merch. But dude, I love your logo. It's awesome. It represents the name, right?
Thank you.
When did you start putting effort into thinking of a logo, and even getting to the RHACS game? You know, because that's a whole investment, man. This is like the business side of investing, right? So let's get into that. When did this start becoming an investment for you? Like after you, I know you spoke to your wife and all that, but let's get back to that.
Yeah, you know, the logo thing it seemed pretty simple for Next Level, but the name Next Level, I kind of want to touch on that a little bit, because I don't want people to think I'm this cocky dude that thinks he's coming in and is going to be the next level of ball pythons. That's not what it was super hard to figure out a name, by the way. I had so many things. Everything was taken, all the cool stuff. And so I didn't even realize until afterwards that other people have used Next Level Reptiles or Next Level. Like, I've seen that. I didn't know that until after the fact. But but it wasn't meant to be Next Level Morphs as far as like, I'm going to make the next level. I'm going to be the next big guy in this industry. It wasn't that. It was, you know, I am 52, like I said. I consider, like, as my childhood was one level, you know, my sub-adult level, so to speak, was a different level, you know, and then when you're young adult and then now old guy like me, those are all different levels. This is the next level of my life, the next phase. And so that's kind of where that name kind of comes from. But the logo, as far as that goes, I was just scribbling around and trying to figure something out that worked. And I had an idea in my head. And I wanted something simple that where you didn't even need to see Next Level Morphs under it to know that it was Next Level Morphs, you know, over a period of time. Once people get to know me, you can just see that, you know, stare snake and know that, oh, that's Next Level Morphs logo. I wanted something simple, like nothing like cartoony or crazy, nothing against that stuff. But, you know, like that, for me, I wanted something
you don't want fucking dinosaurs, man. Like, you don't want fucking like pterodactyls and shit.
Hey, there's some cool ones out there. I just want something simple, like, and so I do like. Thank you for saying that.
Smart business logo is something that someone can remember. Like, they have to be able to look at it and like draw it within like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? And also it looks cleaner, better. You know, it's clean and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, it has to be legible and like be able to read it and shit like that. I mean, I gotta say, like, just Emilio's snake, it's a snake, right? But it's a all white snake with that light blue
I love it.
on it.
Yeah, that's simplicity
right there.
That simplicity is what I love. That's what's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, now getting back into the growth of things, when did you start collecting RHACS?
Oh, you know, I started off with actually ARS, and I got a single level with just 4 tubs in it. I didn't even get the full, like, 10 high or whatever they are. And putting those things together was nothing against them. They're solid in their quality. But I was just like, these are kind of a bummer. But when I didn't even know about Freedom Breeder yet. And when I discovered Freedom Breeder, I was like, dang, those things are dope. I got the Pro Line series first. I got it, you know, 1039. This one, you can see it kind of behind me there.
Yeah.
The Pro Line, there's like three across and 10 high or something. So it's 39 racks or 39 tubs. And then across from that on the other side is the Pro Line 5540. Those things, man, you had to put those together with rivets, and they were.
Yeah, I heard that was the only like bad, like not, I don't say bad, but like people complained about that, you know, about the Pro Lines being.
It wasn't fun. Yeah. I decided when I, you know, because I have the Classic series, and I was just like, man, these things they're already done. You just stack them, put the heat, strips in, and they're so dope. They're so nice, slide nice and smooth. But yeah, I mean, I when I built this room, like when we were in the guest room, those 2 racks were enough, and I was just still in the collecting phase, and I was, but I knew really early on that I was going to outgrow that room fast, and that's why this room started to come. I was like, we could maybe do something with this garage and make it into something that I can use, and I might as well put the racks in it now because it's just going to, how it is. I can just see in a couple of years, I may need more tub space. And right now I'm just using a fraction of the tubs that I have in there, but I'm ready for growth. So you just look ahead, just plan ahead.
The current market doesn't scare you from growing right now, does it?
Not at all, dude. Like I've been asked that before. It's actually beneficial to me, especially now with pricing. Like some of this stuff it's half of what I would have paid in the beginning when I first started. And I'm old enough to know that we're going to have recessions. We have these things. We have these dips in the economy. It's cyclical. So when it comes back, and I actually, man, shout out to that last show you did with Justin and Shelby.
Yeah,
it was so good. I heard Justin talking about that, the economy and the things that people tend to do, and they tend to panic and then start selling off stuff instead of just like focusing on our projects and breeding, having stuff ready for when the economy inevitably does bounce back. So and people start buying stuff again. You want to have that inventory on hand to sell and ready to go. So that's the way I look at it. I feel like in a year and a half to 2 years from now, I'll have a nice inventory for people to like when God willing, and I believe 100% just like he does that it'll bounce back and people are going to be wanting to buy things again. That's when I'll be ready. So right now I produced 1 animal. So, and that was just recently, and that was not an accident.
Hold on. So you got 1 egg, is what you said, and is that what happened?
It was a 4-egg clutch.
Okay, 4 egg.
4-egg clutch. 2 were slugs. 2, the one that looked the healthiest actually didn't make it. They were both starting to mold. 10 days into being in the incubator. So I started researching that. I asked the guys in the group, like Jacob and Andrew and all those guys and Troy and all. They said put Lotrimin foot powder on it, and I researched further because one in particular was starting to get really like moist, I guess, whatever the word is. Like windows were developing and it was getting bigger by the day, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta get on that. What do I do? And so I saw one thing where you guys can tell me I'm an idiot here or not, but it was Elmer's school glue, non-toxic, mixed with Lotrimin, and you just kind of make a paste out of that and rub it all over the eggs. I did both eggs. That's what they do.
That's what they do for chondro eggs. That's like it's anything that has like kind of wetness. That's what you do to dry it. But typically, ball python eggs, you don't have to deal with that. Like if you have the correct egg box. So I want to ask you right now, what kind of egg box setup did you have? That's what
I just had a regular egg box. I had
but how much substrate? Because I'm curious, how much space did you have between like the eggs and the lid? And did you use food seal wrap? And was there any air holes? That's what I want to know.
Dude, once I knew, that's a good question, because the air holes, I didn't know if I was supposed to have air holes or not, because I did put press and seal on the top and then the lid on top of that.
How much space was the eggs from the top of the
if I had a picture to show you, I would show you. There was space between the top of the lid and the eggs. There's plenty.
And what was the substrate you were using?
Maybe like an inch to an inch and a half or something of
Perlite or vermiculite?
No, not perlite.
Vermiculite.
Yes, thank you. And so it was moist enough. The humidity, I had what do you call it? A little thing to gauge the humidity, and everything was dialed. But it was just one of those ones. I know it happens. I know it's not common, but it happens. It happened to me. The one that looked the healthiest, the egg, that was the one I lost, and nothing I could do could save it. The other one was looking rough all the way towards the end, but it made it, and I was super stoked because what came out was a really dope snake.
You posted it, right?
Yeah, I did.
Now, what was the pairing?
I haven't posted it out of the egg yet. I got to do that. But
what was the pairing?
It was a cinnamon, yellow belly, lace clown, to a stranger clown.
Cinnamon yellow belly lace clown.
Yeah.
Stranger clown.
Yeah. And what came out was a replica of the dad, female.
Which was the
cinnamon yellow belly lace clown.
Okay. So, but you're not seeing any stranger in it?
I really wanted to. I was trying to.
Oh, yeah, of course. Your eye always wants to see what that. You know what I mean?
Man, I wanted to see it bad, but it doesn't look like stranger to me.
Okay, but still, what an epic snake to hit. I mean,
yeah.
So, okay. Now where we at as far as going into 2024, or just in general, how do you want your first season to roll out? I know I wouldn't count this as like your official season, obviously.
No,
you know? I had one of those. I had one clutch one year, and it was like my learning clutch, right?
Yeah.
But let's say you're going into your first full season, right? What's your game plan as far as the amount of clutches you're wanting to have your first season and all that? Have you considered all that yet?
Just actually over the weekend, I moved the last 55-40 rack from the house into the room here. And I started doing inventory on females that could possibly go this year. And I counted 16 of them. So the way I look at it is if I get like 6 or 7 of those to actually go and have clutches, that'll be a success. That'll be super stoked with that.
What if you get like 12 of them to go?
That would be the more the merrier, man.
Okay. So you're ready for that. You're ready to take
I'm ready for it. I got the space. I've got, I would love that. The more the merrier. I would love to have as many clutches as possible. The fact that I didn't realize I had that many that were. So this week I plan on doing some ultrasounding and finding out where they all are follicle wise, and then start strategically, because that's one of those things I love about this too, man. Is I'm one of those. I'm also like, I'm kind of a nerd. I didn't realize. So yeah. I'm one of those fantasy football guys, man. And you ever like just sit there and kind of go, okay, let me see if I could make a trade for this guy. I would do this and this and this. Now I find myself in bed, like laying awake just at night, going,
pairings.
Pair this to this, and then what I would get this, and like. There's so many.
I go to bed thinking that shit all the time.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
All right, so I gotta ask you, what's your most anticipated clutch or pairing?
Let's get into
for
that.
This year. It's going to be a white lace clown combo. So I have that same male. I know it's been done, but I haven't done it, and it's something that if I can get a white lace clown as a base, I'd hold that back. If I get more than one, I'd sell one. But I think that I have a white lace. I have a clown. That same male, the cinnamon yellow belly lace clown. I have a couple. I have a few females that are lace. So I have one right now that is just ready to go from Seth. I got most of my lace stuff. I don't know if you've ever heard of Seth from DD Exotics. He's big in the lace.
What exotics? I'm sorry.
DD. Like
DD Exotics? I've seen that.
Yeah, DD Exotics. I have a few. One of the girls I have from him that's ready now, she just is like, she's one of those ones where you open the tub and she's ready to take your head off because she thinks it's feeding time every time you open the tub. She will eat whatever somebody else doesn't eat. She will take it. She's just one of those. So she went from 900 grams to almost 2,000 grams in like several months, like super fast. And so I paired that same male to her a couple times now, and I'm gonna check her follicles this week and see where she's at, and then possibly pair them again. But that's one where I'll have a chance. She's a fire lace het clown. I have an orange dream yellow belly lace clown that is getting close as well, and then I have a fire lace clown that's also getting close. So
I'm hearing nothing but lace and clown, man. So I
love lace. It's got to be my favorite incomplete dominant gene would probably be lace, would be right at the top.
I have to agree with you for sure.
Okay.
Especially when it becomes a white lace, it's like holy shit.
Exactly. So you're shooting for white lace stuff. I even have some puzzle stuff with lace that I got from Joel from State.
Dude, I'm so glad you mentioned my man Joel, because I recently posted on my story. I don't know if you caught it, but I posted my lace 100% double het clown hypo from Joel. Bro, this thing is becoming so gnarly. Like the whites are just coming out of this snake.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to a white lace, but still, like to see a classic looking snake become not so classic with age is so futuristic. That's the game plan right there, bro.
I still feel like lace is being overlooked by a lot of people. It's one of those genes that, man, early on I knew I wanted it.
It's probably the sunset lovers.
Hey, it's next, bro. Lace, white lace stuff is next. I've been saying that. MJ's been saying that. It's coming.
I love white lace, man.
Is it blasphemous to say that I like it more than Desert Ghost? White lace.
Oh, it's not.
I like it more than Desert Ghost, but also it's kind of like not in the same department, so it's kind of weird to like compare that because you can put them together. That's the beauty. You can put white lace and DG together.
Yeah, look at Justin's white lace DG clown. Come on, man.
That's the beauty, man.
Yeah.
Now, okay, let's get into some. I want to get into some fire poking talk right now, and that's kind of like, did you feel like has anything been overhyped since you came into this, as far as certain morphs that you maybe thought, I'll invest in this, and then just didn't afterwards, or anything like that so far?
Honestly, no, man. I wish I would have gotten into puzzle sooner. I know that.
It's never too late to get into puzzle. Will was just
I'm into it now, but in the initial big investment phase of my journey, I bought a lot of clown stuff, which no regrets, because clowns are always going to, be people always want them, and they're beautiful. But I wish I would have got more puzzle stuff. There's not really I know Sunset's is one of those controversial genes that people seem to they either like it or they don't. It's one or the other. They either love it or hate it. But I've got a couple females, and I'm growing those up, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I know that every gene has its place, and I know that we're going to see some crazy stuff from that. And speaking of which, that Sunset puzzle that Brock Wagner produced is freaking sick. So if that's your base, what would you put in that? You can even something as simple as Yellow Belly or Hypo or would be sick in that.
Which reminds me, Brock Wagner coming to Trap Talk this Thursday night.
Nice.
Make sure you're there. Okay,
nice.
6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. But let's keep it real, Tony. Let's keep it a buck. How do you think that Sunset puzzle is going to age?
So that's where I think the enhancing genes come in. What's a simple gene that would make that thing age beautifully all the way through to adulthood would be lesser or butter, whatever you want to.
Really?
Absolutely.
Woo!
Yeah. So that's something simple.
Dude,
I'd say this. I want to see a white lace Sunset.
Yes.
Ooh.
So yeah, you're going. Now we're talking. Now we're going to another level. That's
okay. So if let's say we get there, I don't know what year that would be. Probably soon. I mean, we don't have to wait too long. I think Justin would probably be the one to do that. But a white lace.
Brock. I don't know if Brock works with lace, but
how many opportunities is something going to get to prove that it does not age well? And so.
Hey, but guys, Hypo Sunset is very nice. Sunset stuff is very nice.
God bless Hypo.
Hypo
could save something. Hypo could save a life.
I'm gonna go with the big dog. You can't have high expectations for every gene. Yeah. My expectations for my Sunset project are not super high. I'll admit that.
No matter what I've said about Sunset, no matter what I've said about Sunset on this podcast, at least it wasn't me saying lesser like Tony.
Troy.
Dude, this is the first time.
Troy?
This is the first time on record anyone's stood up for lesser and butter like this, and I want to commend you. Thank you, man. This is
it works in Sunset though.
Dude, hold on. Hold the phone. Hold on.
Hey, Emilio, you got to finish your thought, bro.
I don't remember. Well, what I'm saying is my Sunset game is going to be limited to what I think could work.
Look at this, okay? That has butter in it. This is a butter Wookiee clown. This snake looks hot as shit with butter in it.
Yeah. And I have a lesser puzzle. A lesser spot nose puzzle that is one of my I feel like one of the most beautiful snakes I have. So it works really well with puzzle.
I think
it also worked really well with Sunset. So why not marry those?
I definitely think you got to be Like, you got to love what you love, right? Like, I love that you're saying what you're saying, Tony, because this is what you love, no matter what is like majority liked or frowned upon. You're saying what you like, man. And so I'm seeing a lot of things like butter and even lesser. Like, I just made a fucking Mardi Gras clown that had lesser in it, right? And that thing looked ridiculous. I had lesser in it. But should I make that a cheaper snake because there's lesser in it? No. You kiss my ass. That snake looks fucking sick as shit. So definitely do your thing, bro. That's all.
It has its place. Joe from JSA Reptiles, he made a Xanthic, VPI Xanthic lesser yellow belly clown. That's sick. Like, I mean, say what you want about it, but it is a dope looking snake. So every gene, I feel like every gene has its place. That's one of the coolest things about this industry is like with ball pythons is, man, every gene has a place.
So MJ, Sunset has its place too. Just saying.
I never said, did I say delete Sunset? Did I ever say delete it? Hey, like, dude, and trust me, I'm also building suspense here, guys. Come on, man. I'm kind of like trolling it a little bit because I can't wait until Miguel or Justin or whoever produces or Brock produces a
hey, Leviathan Snakes, they work with Sunset, and I know that.
Wait, who's the one who's really making ground with Sunset is fucking Brad's Boa, man. What the fuck? Shout out to Brad Boa.
Yeah, Brad Boa. Those guys.
That's that young gun right there, man. That fool's a hitter, man.
He
Put
is.
respect on that dude's name. But you know, listen, you got to admit, you know, obviously there's a lot to come when it comes to double and triple recessives, right?
Yeah.
I haven't heard too much other than clown. What's a recessive you're trying to maybe throw in with clown, or do you have any double recessive projects or even triples?
No triples yet, but I have the ingredients to make some stuff. You know, there's still a lot of stuff. If my favorite recessives would have to be, if I had to list them, would be puzzle and clown. I like Xanthic, and I'm working with TSK. I like obviously Desert Ghost and Hypo. So you put those. Man, there's a lot you can do with those. You know, I could make a triple recessive this season as soon as this season with I've got a hypo clown het pied, and it's super easy, right? I don't have this male yet, but it would be super easy to get, and that would be like a pied hypo het clown, and odds are you're going to hit triple recessive with that. But that's not something that I'll be honest, that it's super exciting to me. So it's not something, who knows what, I don't even know what I'm going to do with that. Like a lot of these pairings, a lot of these females that I have, the 16 that are going to be ready this year are nice, but it's the next season that where the females that I, bought as babies and are now going to be ready by next season that's when this excitement starts to really, really go, So that's why I said it's the long game. And my wife has been super supportive. My mom, you've met my mom. You know how she is.
Oh my gosh, shout out to your moms, man. I mean, we have to even tell what was epic about meeting you was meeting your mom too. Like, your mom was just, what an amazing spirit that lady is, man. She's just such a cool person to be around, and I felt like we were family right off the bat.
She loves you, by the way. She really does. She's like, how's MJ doing? She loves you.
Yeah, she's awesome, man.
She loved you right out of the gate. She's one of those ones where even with like that, when that booth you were in, I'm not like the most outgoing person. If pretty reclusive and pretty like introverted, I guess would be the word.
Right.
But going to that show, if she wasn't there too, she let's get a picture. Let's get a picture with you two. Like that's how she is. You know how she is. Even like all the guys in the booth that you were in with, all those guys, I got close to them, and she was a big reason why, even all the people. Brian Cusco, man. That's another guy, man, that's been I remember inquiring about, speaking of Sunset, his Inchy Cinnamon Sunset, yeah. And I didn't end up getting that, right away, but I inquired on Morph Market, and he instantly messaged me back on Morph Market and said, here's my number, give me a call, we can talk about it. And I was like, oh, Cusco, because I was binging his videos, and watching all that stuff, and that dude is such a cool. I remember going, I'm going to talk to Cusco right now. Wow. So I called him up, and we had the best conversation. We talked for probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours. He was driving at the time, and
he's always driving.
And yeah, that guy's busy all the time. Like even for this snake room. So this snake room, when I was setting up the thermostats, I hadn't messed with the Freedom Breeding thermostats for a year, well over a year. And so I was having trouble getting the stop beeping because they were fluctuating so much. And so I text Cusco and I was like, hey man, is there something you can tell me? What am I doing wrong here? Within 20 seconds, he calls me. And that, you know how busy that guy is, for him to take that time to just
he's
call
there
me.
for you though, man. I'm telling you though, if you have it in like that with Cusco, and he does that for a lot of people, trust me. But he's there for you like that. That's why I love Cusco.
Dude, he really is. And that guy's energy, that everything about that guy is so like you just can't help but feel good and happy when you're around Cusco.
Yeah. Good
that guy gave me so I was only 6 months into my journey, and he did a featured video of me, and I was just like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, he came to my house and dropped off a couple snakes I bought and did a video, and I was just like, no way. So nervous, but man, he's such a comforting presence that really that's a dude that I just love that guy.
I mean, one of many reasons why it's so beautiful to be a part of this hobby, man. I mean, we love the snakes. We love the snakes, right? But the people come with the snakes. And you know, I don't know. Like I feel like when you know you're meant to be somewhere is when a lot of good things happen to you. And I know for me, it was me meeting so many good people in this hobby. And because that's kind of what leads you to go where you want to go in this game. You know, obviously you got to put in the work still, which you're putting in the work, but you're building your surroundings pretty fucking like you have a solid crew of people around you, you know, and that's what's very important. You got to have people you can trust. That's the hard thing, you know. And what's crazy too, Tony, and be ready for this, because I know next level means you're going to continue to go up. And what happens is when you start passing people around you up, some of them don't know how to take it the right way. You know what I mean? But that's when you need to see if there's any red flags or not, you know, like, because as much as you want everyone to win, not everyone's going to be on the same level as you. You know what I mean? And that's only because we're only here to grow, right? If you're not here to level up, then what the fuck are you doing here? Like it's about leveling up, you know, but some people, you know, it's unfortunate, but either way, man, I mean, do you feel like vending is going to be something that you're going to be tackling at some point in your career?
You know, that's a good question, because I know some people that do it behind the scenes and without vending and still sell tons of snakes and, you know, aren't vendors. I mean, Seth is one of those guys that I mentioned earlier.
Dude, I was one of them. I just started vending last year, but the whole other 5.5 years, I never considered it. But it's the funnest thing ever, man. It is. It really is.
Well, I love going to the shows. I think my holdback, my holdback would be like, man, you take these snakes to the shows and then everybody's touching them and you put them at risk for catching stuff, and it's scary to me. Like I would be very hesitant to take my best snakes to a show and have everybody wanting to hold them and touch them and stuff like that. Like
Tony, what I would say to that is that there's snakes you're not going to allow anyone to touch, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's up to you. You know.
Yeah.
And don't let no motherfucker put his snakes on your table.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, think about it. You want to talk about an easy way to spread shit? Is if someone bought like you see those people walking around with a stack of reptiles and they're like ding 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 ding, and they're like, can I please put this here? And they try to like they literally put it on your case. I've seen it, and I'm like, bro, you know, little fucking things could be flying off of
that's where you have to. That's where you have to be. You have to come on and say, hey, look, man, you're gonna have to take that off of there right now.
Biosecurity, buddy. Get your damn animals off my table.
Yeah. No, it does scare me though. I'm super OCD when it comes to keeping my, and I get a hard time from the guys sometimes. I did in the beginning, not anymore.
Oh, he came. He came.
Hey, Cusco. Shout out to Cusco.
Shout out to Brian Cusco, man. Celebrity Appearance Award right there, my man.
You
Brian
know, I'm a lot older than him, but he's like a big brother to me. Like
Tony, stop saying you're older, bro. You look really young. Just go with that. I would never bring up your age ever, because you don't even look it. It looks like you're lying. It looks like you're trying to get people to feel sorry for you. Stop saying your age.
Oh man, but yeah, Cusco's like a big brother, man. He's an awesome dude, man. Shout out to him. Where was I saying?
We're talking about vending.
Yeah, no, I'm very OCD when it comes to keeping my snakes tubs clean. Right. I spot clean every day. This room, by the way, has made that so much easier. Like everything is streamlined. I have a sink here next to me. I used to have to go from the guest room through the hallway to the backyard to spray tub. Like it was it was a process, man. And even with, I don't even have a bunch of snakes. I have 68 snakes, and I like to keep them clean, fresh water, clean substrate constantly. Like
how fresh is your water? I'm curious. Like how often are we talking water changes here?
It's so easy to change it, especially now, but I would probably say I change it every other day, if not every, 2 to 3 days. Yeah.
Mark Bailey gets mad at me and he's like, he's like, how about you stop fucking doing everyday water changes and pick up a temp gun? He's OG. You know what I mean?
It's one of those things that's it's just super. If I see a piece of cocoa chip in there, I'm like, nope, I got to change that out. So
theoretically, like that's like kind of giving your dog sparkling water in a sense. Just to be clear, like because I know I go hard on the water changes, but that's mainly for the chondros. And I'm not saying I do once a week on the ball pythons, but if I do once a week, I'm not losing any sleep. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I will be honest. Okay, but I also do tub checks, like Tony's saying. If I see something in a ball python's water, I'm changing it right then and there. I don't keep it moving and say I'll see you Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Who knows how long that'll last? Because as the snake collection grows, when I start having hatchlings, I may not be able to do that, as much as I do now. I do like them to have fresh, clean water as much as possible and clean tubs. That's just the OCD in me, I guess. But
But
it's also an excuse to open the tub.
You're doing such a nice thing. You're giving it fucking fresh water. Like, I mean, I just look at it.
Fresh water,
Yeah, like,
But it's also, like I said, it's also an excuse to open the tubs and go, holy crap, look at this thing. Oh my God, look at you. And bring it out, hold it, put it back in, fresh water. It's just, I love opening the tubs. I don't know that that's ever going to get old.
All right, Tony, let me ask you a question. You said you were late into the puzzle game. What direction do you see yourself going in when it comes to puzzle?
I know you guys are anti-pastel. But pastel,
not anti-pastel at all.
Okay.
Just
I thought I heard that before. I thought I heard. I know some people are. Okay. Pastel, desert ghost exanthic puzzle. I know that's going to happen at some point, and eventually, eventually white lace exanthic pastel puzzle.
That's dope.
I want to see an all black and white, like super bright puzzle.
I will tell you, Tony. In my view, DG puzzles need pastel.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Because the DG puzzle by itself, the pattern gets affected. It gets too bold. You can't really see the puzzle pattern as much. So the pastel helps that a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, how much pastel is even in your collection, Tony? Do you have a lot of pastel shit or not really?
In the beginning, when I was first getting into this, I saw a lot of people being negative towards pastel, and I was hesitant to get my first pastel. My first pastel animal came from TJ from TOFAUTI. Dude, and that's another dude I got to shout out.
Shout out to sponsor. Shout out to TJ.
TJ is one of those dudes that early on took time. Yeah, he took the time to talk to me and who am I? And this is TJ from TOFAUTI. He's just one of those dudes that and another guy that probably doesn't do a lot of shows, right? But still sells stuff. He doesn't need to, he's got that, I don't know if it's bad to say name recognition, but that if you're buying from him, you're buying quality.
Oh, 100%.
But I bought from him a pastel leopard double het hypo clown mandarin. So pastel, leopard, mandarin, double het hypo clown female, and that's another one that just eats like crazy, and she could be ready as early as this season. She's getting pretty big. But I have a mandarin clown that I got from Troy.
You have a mandarin clown?
I have a mandarin clown from Troy.
What does that look like? What does that look like? I don't think I've ever seen a mandarin clown.
It's funny because he's in shed right now. I'd pull him out, but I don't think he's gonna look very good. But you want to see him?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind,
it's probably not going to come through because it's mandarin. It's one of those things.
That's why I'm curious if it just looks like a regular clown or
it does. It kind of does right now, but it's one of those ones. Yeah.
Let's see it.
It's got a little orange tone to it.
I want to talk about mandarin because there are some talk out there how TJ has really the only one who has real mandarin in this collection. And I don't want to say that's not That's not true, but I mean, I know Andrew from Redwood has like legit ass Mandarin. I know there's other real deal Mandarin out there. You know what I mean? Troy, obviously, Troy. I mean, first Mandarin I ever saw was at Troy's table. Oh, dude, that looks different than a regular clown, bro. Come on, that looks
He's super deep though. Look at his eyes. Like when he, in the daylight and in better lighting, this dude is.
It looks, but you could tell it looks like almost orange drink. Like there's something else going on with that. Period. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see it. I could see it. And we all know the extreme differences between Mandarin and Super Mandarin. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I'm assuming your goal is to put that into another Mandarin clown of some sort.
Well, that's that female. So from TJ, I got pastel, leopard, Mandarin, double het hypo clown. So I've got a few animals from him. They're all Mandarin related, and I'm excited. That's another one that I'm excited to work with.
Hey, I know one of you guys in the chats. Do you guys know if Andrew Redwood, is his Mandarin stuff also from TJ? I would think so, right? Because I'm pretty sure Troy's the one that put everyone on that.
I think he got his from Brittany Gobble, but don't quote me on that.
And where did Brittany get her? Like, where did that come from?
I think she got hers from the source, from the and I can't tell you, I can't remember the name of the guy that founded it, maybe, or found it. So
I mean, you get TJ on the show, man. TJ, I need you on the show, buddy.
TJ, yeah.
I need you on the show, man. He's like year overdue to come on this show. And then,
guys, I want to see a Super Mandarin hypo clown.
Yes, sir.
Hey, tell us your real thoughts about Mandarin, Emilio. What do you feel about it?
I love the Super Mandarin hypo.
Yeah.
That's all I really like when it comes to that project. There's more to be seen still. So once you add clown to that and a couple other things, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. Now, other than Super Mandarin, what's a big powerful codon for you? I know white lace. We said white lace, right?
White lace.
Other than those two, or any other supers you're working with right now, or working towards?
I don't know that there's ever. I know that there's been. I love the stranger gene.
Right. Wait, can you do a super stranger? Is it possible to do stranger to stranger? I've never heard of that yet.
Well, yeah. Well, Justin came out with that super stranger not that long ago.
I didn't see that.
He's proved that it's not.
Tinley 22. It was there.
What did it look like? Super dark or what? Did it look sick?
You pull it up. I mean, it wasn't very memorable.
I'm feeling lazy. I'm sorry. I'll look it up.
Cypress is another one that I'm curious to see.
Tony, would you agree? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks maybe just like a darker version of what it's like. It's just a straight stranger looks like, with a little bit less pattern, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't like, some supers like lace are incredible, and then some are just like and then they're and then you got super leopard, which you can't even tell if it's super leopard or not.
You guys are, you know what I'm about to say right now.
What?
I just don't like the brown.
Of what?
Oh, but there's pastel in there too. Wait.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Is this it? That's it.
That's the pastel one, but there's one that without pastel too.
Yeah.
Did he already skip it? Oh, this is the one. Oh, this is Stranger Mahogany.
Yeah.
Either way, okay.
I mean, it wasn't a big deal. No, everyone forgot about it real quick.
Yeah,
it was more of those pairings to disprove certain ideas.
Mahogany. Yeah.
Hey, a lot of things aren't going Jacob's way this episode. He's really upset that, first and foremost, he likes Super Stranger. He thinks it's sick. And then we're over here just giving Pastel Lester all this love. So we got to say something to make Jacob happy, man, because he's pretty pissed right now.
I can't see the comments, so I don't know what's going on.
There we go. That's how we do things. Okay.
Jacob, though.
Okay, now super gravel, super asphalt. You like any of those kind of combos?
I actually have a super gravel that I got from Miguel. That's not het for anything, so I plan on doing something with that. Not sure what mail I'm going to put to her, but she's ready. She's bull wrapping. She's a big girl. I got a few that are ready. A couple from Miguel that are ready. I got one from Justin that's about ready that I bought as an adult. That's a leopard double het hypo clown. that I would love to put a, I don't know yet. I would love to put a redhead to that, redhead clown, and see what we see. But there's a few females that I'm just not quite sure. It's all going to depend on what their follicle growth is, and I'll do that later this week, and we'll see what the pairings are going to be. But like I said, this year is going to be cool. If I get 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever out of the 16 to go, I'll be stoked. But it's the next season that's going to be where the girls that I've invested a lot into are going to be ready and hopefully going for me next season. So that's going to be exciting.
All right, so I asked you about the puzzle. I have to ask you this. What is that number one combo that you're looking to make in the next 2 or 3 years? Like that it pops up immediately.
Yeah, quick.
God, that's a good question. I like I said, I just haven't really.
I already have one for you.
What? Tell me.
Oh my God, Super Mandarin White Lace Clown. That'd be amazing.
Well, I mean, that's not.
Oh, but you said you said 2, 3 years. Okay.
Well, it could be. Hey, listen, it could be 5 years.
Oh,
I mean.
Okay. Well, then that would be something. Yeah.
Real quick, those 5 years are here before you know it.
It goes fast. Yeah. I mean, I blinked my eyes, and then we're here a year and a half in, and look where I'm sitting, and I'm on MJ's podcast. Like, this is not even real. Like, it's so it's such. It
goes quick. It's only gonna go. It's only gonna go faster after this, buddy. You'll see.
I would say though that I'm excited about, because with that pairing that I just showed you, the Mandarin clown from Troy, and TJ's leopard pastel Mandarin double head hypo clown, I have a chance to make a Super Mandarin clown with that.
Wow.
And that's soon. That's within that could be this season. So going into 2024. So that would be sick. I would love to hit that.
Super Mandarin leopard clown.
Yeah. Right.
I have true faith in Super Mandarin, man, for sure. Especially if it's at TJ stock, or I mean anything reputable. I do know it's not coming from a bunch of people, but from a good handful of sources have that real deal Mandarin. And obviously you got that. I mean, say what you want. That did not look like a normal clown to me at all. Like as soon as you pop that snake, I saw the colorations that don't resemble anything as a normal clown. That thing looks sick.
I have a couple hypo mandarins where you have to really look at them close to see that they're for sure 100% mandarin, but you got to look at them.
Right.
That are, you have to really, it's hard. It won't come through on camera as much as it does just in the single gene form. But I'm a big believer in the Mandarin project. I'm excited about that. It's one of those ones I was excited about early on.
That's why I don't understand why people were well, it doesn't look good if it's not a super. Well, then okay, that's why you work it into a super. Because look at gravel, look at asphalt. Look how many times it ain't shit until you put it back into each other, and then look what you get. So
the super forms of those are amazing. Yeah,
it's like you just treat it like a recessive.
Yeah, same
shit. Now I gotta ask you, man, since the big blow, fucking futuristic scientist. Fucking RGI has hit the scene and come out with all this testing for us.
Yeah.
Have you taken advantage of any of that? Have you had to test any 66% that you've been raising or anything like that?
I was talking about this on the shout out to Troy. Troy's got a podcast too called Late to the Mic, and I was on there last week and nervous as heck on that one as well. But he asked me that question. RGI or the genetic testing, I haven't sent in a single shed yet. And I've got a pairing. The very first snake that I got from Jacob was a spot nose inchy clown, and he's 66% het for Desert Ghost. And I'm pairing him right now to a DG Krypton, also from Jacob. That he didn't produce that one, but I got that from him, and she's growing and she's ready. I think she's going to definitely go. I'll ultrasound her and see where she's at. But I've already paired him twice, and he locked with her for like 2 days straight, both times. So I want to find out the old-fashioned way, at least this once.
Yeah.
I missed the whole part where we didn't have that genetic testing, or the industry didn't have that for back in the day, and now they do. Well, I want that surprise effect, and I want to see it moved out the old-fashioned way.
Well, Tony, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's not going to change your pairing.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
If let's say your pairing wasn't set in stone, testing is
100%.
Trust me, I'm old school. I'm super old school, but I'm testing a ton of stuff this coming season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I plan on doing a lot of testing too, because that will determine pairings, like you're saying.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to make sure that you're doing something that can.
Because I'll tell you this, with time throughout the years, your eye will become as good as the testing. Trust me.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, but hold on.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, please tell me more. I want to hear this.
Nah, look. After producing so many snakes, I could really pick out heads and stuff easily.
Yeah, okay, but let's talk about doubles and shit like that, bro. We're talking like
there's still certain.
But not every snake, bro. You can't tell me you could just say, "Oh, I mean,
Right,
you can play the guessing. You can play the guessing, of course. That's fun. I like the guessing.
I'm 7 of 8 this season.
Wow.
7 of 8.
7, 8.
You've been doing this a long time, right, Emilio?
Yeah.
7 of 8 proving process.
Hey, he's old too, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm 43 and I don't feel old, bro. I'm at my best.
I'm just kidding, Emilio. You're not old. You're not.
No, but look. What I'm saying is that with experience, there's a lot that you learn, and that 66% sometimes becomes 89%.
Okay.
It's
but with your eye.
For me, here, can I have my rebuttal on this? A customer or an inquiry does not give a fuck about your eye. They want to know.
Oh, that's for me. That's something that I can keep for
you
me.
Can't. But now, you can't hold everything back. Like you have to sell something.
If I'm selling something, I'm gonna test it, of course.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're
but that said, there are customers that will trust me with that.
And there's a lot you even see on the Morph market where you'll see this girl will prove. I am very confident she's going to prove because of this. Something that breeder's eye sees, and you see that a lot. Hasn't been tested, but I'm very sure, very certain. And you see that, and you're like, it's a selling point.
But again, remember, you're talking about people that have been in the game 10 plus years.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm advocating for testing. But with time, you'll start to get comfortable where, okay, if I'm keeping this, I see this is solid and stuff like that, little by little,
That is definitely a superpower I would love to have.
So you don't hate RGI, right, Emilio?
I love RGI. I love testing. Trust me.
Yes,
bro. I'm gonna be testing a ton of monsoon stuff this coming season. So
that's a gene that intrigues me. That's a gene that I would love to add to the collection at some point. Monsoon.
What would you do with monsoon, Tony?
Yeah, I know a lot of people say that. I haven't seen it, but I've heard some people say that the monsoon clown hasn't really impressed. But I don't think has there ever been one?
Yeah. The guy in Europe, I forgot the name right now. Iris, I think it's his name. He hit a fire monsoon clown. It's dope.
Really? See, I would love to see that. I'm gonna have to look that up after the show.
Yeah, I'll send it to you later. I'll send it to you once we get off the show.
Awesome.
Yeah. So check it out, Tony. I got a wrap-up question for you, and if Mila, if you want to get one ready after mine, please do. But wrap-up question from me, Tony, is I'm sure even with you being into the hobby right now, people would still, if they knew, would come to you and ask you for advice. So if we were to kind of look at where you're at now, and if you could maybe reset shit, what would maybe be some advice to yourself or something to anyone new coming into this that you would maybe move differently or this or that? What stands out when you think of something like that?
Man, that's a good that's a good question. It's tough. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have much knowledge to drop for people. I'm brand new to this and still learning, but that's like I said, that's what makes this industry so fun is there's just so much. I'm sure 10 years in, I'll still be learning stuff. And I love that about this. But I would say, like, for newer breeders, man, you got to do as much research as possible before you even start to think about buying your first animal. You want to look at, really, what excites you, what makes you, what wakes you up in the morning and and keeps you up at night when you're thinking about it, as far as what combinations you want to mix together and breed what excites you, but also breed what people want, what you think people are going to want to see in the future. So I would say, don't jump into it head first. You gotta research. I'm a big proponent of doing a lot of research before you dive headfirst into anything. And then I would say that. I would say just, and I did do that. I probably could have done even more, but I don't know.
But Tony, I don't mean to interrupt you, but could research prepare you for some of the shit that that experience is giving you, like that snake that rolled on you? Could that prepare you for anything?
That's just stuff that you have, like with anything in life. You just have, like, those are things that
you got to go through it. You got to go through it,
man. And I'm going to go through more of it. And that's just part of what this business is, or what this industry or hobby is you're going to go through stuff. You're going to have obstacles. You're going to have bumps, and you're going to just have to. It's how you deal with them and roll with them and keep grinding. You got to. That's one of those things that I've been doing, is just kind of keeping my head down and grinding. I'm not big on social media. I got rid of Instagram and Facebook years and years ago. 15 plus years ago, I was just like, this stuff is ridiculous. I'm not into it. I only got back onto Instagram for this, and I won't do Facebook, but yeah, it's just grinding, man. You just got to grind, and I would say research the heck out of what you want to do. Make sure it's something that you're gonna, because it's a long game. It's not something you're gonna it's overnight. You're gonna see an ROI. It doesn't work like that, you know. So as long as you know that, and as long as you're passionate about it and you love it, I would say before you even buy your first animal, your first rack, anything, research.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Big Dog, Big E, what you got, man?
All-time favorite ball python combo made so far.
Oh God.
Currently.
You know what's crazy? I would have said probably
Pastel. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I was gonna say Justin's VPI Exanthic Desert Ghost Clown. That thing is sick, and I'll tell you this: if you would have put Pastel into that, I think it would have even been better.
Well, again, Mark Bailey made one with Pastel. Did you see that?
No, I haven't.
I'll send it to you, buddy. I'll send it to you right after this episode.
So I would say that, but you know, a great runner-up to that now is that Sunset Puzzle. So
hey, but what if we put white lace in that DG Exantic fucking clown?
Hey,
I want to see it,
Tony.
Yeah.
You're being nice.
What?
He said Sunset Puzzle second.
Wait, what? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part.
Sunset Puzzle, man. I'm not gonna lie, I love it.
Oh shit.
You trying to get in someone's good side? Why are you saying that?
Because if that's your base, if that Sunset Puzzle is your base, and you can add to that, just like you said even earlier, hypo. Put hypo Sunset Puzzle. Put yellow belly in that hypo yellow belly Sunset Puzzle. That thing's just gonna get sicker and sicker. So I think that animal's got a lot of legs, like long legs. It's got a lot of potential.
Damn, you know what? You got a lot of potential, buddy, and I cannot wait to see you fulfill all this potential.
Thanks, man.
Because it's just a matter of time, day by day, brick by brick, as we say. But what an epic fucking episode, man! Hour and a half went by too quick.
Yeah.
But guess what? We have hot seat questions, buddy. This is where things can kind of get a little unbalanced right here, okay? And you just got to roll with it. And guys, please, I appreciate. We just had shy of 80 people tapped in, so if you're still hanging out with us, which I know we are, around 70ish people, get the lights up right now for Tony. It's hot seat question time, okay? He done killed this podcast, and now it's time for the hot seat questions. And as always, Emilio will end it with his banger of a hot seat. But I'm gonna go first. Are you ready for this, Tony?
Sure.
He said sure. Okay, hot seat questions for Tony B coming in hot. Let's go. Frozen Thought or live?
Live.
8 cut or no cut?
8 cut or no cut?
Would you ever cut an 8, or would you cut an 8?
Oh yeah, 8 cut. Yeah, after cut.
On what day?
55.
One snake you would keep other than a ball python?
Ooh, gosh. There's got to be some kind of a boa I would keep. I need a garbage disposal for the rats that get too big for the snakes that I have. If for one doesn't eat for some reason, but I'm gonna eventually figure that out.
Ball python baby, would you do a pre-first shed meal or a post-first shed meal?
Post. Yay
imports or boo imports, Tony? How do you feel about them?
Yay, man. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that hasn't been discovered yet. That's amazing.
What about one reptile you could import to your collection? Like, let's just say size, nothing mattered. It's like a dreamy reptile that you could import anywhere around the world. What would it be?
That I could have imported to me?
Yes, like just in a dream.
You know those, I don't even know what they're specifically called, but there's those black monitor lizards.
Yeah.
That are,
The
they
big
look
ones,
like
the big ones, the giant ones or the tree ones?
the giant ones.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I mean, if you had it like if you like you said, there was no limits like that would be a cool, just basically dinosaur to have in the backyard or something like that. Come on, man, who wouldn't want that?
I mean, a lot of people have those already in Florida. They're fucking nuts. Florida don't play, bro. Florida don't play. Okay.
Yeah.
To spray or mist a ball python, or to never spray or mist a ball python?
Oh, I spray all the time. I spray. They probably hate me for it, but I do it all the time. I spray.
Yay sports or boo sports?
Yay sports, man.
Favorite sport?
I mean, it's between basketball, football. Niners and Bulls are my team, so
Okay, we would
probably the
rather
Bulls.
I'd rather just talk about basketball since you just said the fucking Niners. Are you kidding me? Jesus, we're not getting.
Yeah, I've been a Niner fan since the mid-80s.
Tony, this is the Raider Nation right here in front of you, okay, buddy? And you don't want this. I'm just kidding. We're terrible.
Jerry Rice unites both.
Yes, that
Yeah,
is,
there you go.
that's
There
how
you go.
Emilio thinks. Positive guy.
Emilio's
Man right there. Steak or fish, Tony?
Oh, steak.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Hagar can suck it. I Van Halen.
Yes. West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
God, there's good on both, man.
You had to pick.
I would almost say East Coast because I love Wu-Tang.
That's
From
the
back,
birth of
I'm
hip-hop.
old school, man. So
You can't deny that. Okay, favorite Wu-Tang member?
Method Man. He's easy.
Yes. I mean that's pretty easy one to pick. All right, little word association. First thing to come to mind. Milk,
Cookies.
egg box,
Hatchlings.
first time ball python breeder,
Noob.
stuck shed,
Soak.
FedEx shipping,
Exciting.
coolest reptile podcast in the world.
Trap Talk.
End it, Emilio.
All right. True ghost or a desert ghost exanthic?
Ooh.
Ooh, man, I love True Ghost. I'm not gonna lie, but DG Exanthic has got to, put them both together, peanut butter and jelly.
Damn. There you have it.
That's in the works. That's something I have.
Hey, you pled the
plans
fifth.
for.
You pled the fifth.
Hey, dude, Tony, amazing show. Like I said, we just had shy of 80 people tapped in for tonight's episode. What do you have to say to everyone wanting to see you win and just all your love and support out there, man? You got a bunch of homies in the chats tonight.
It's such I can't see the chat, but it's the fact that even anybody tuned in to watch, like me or you, I'm sure they came in for you, but the fact that they're even here in the chat is very humbling, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. That's amazing. Thank you, guys.
With all due respect, I haven't seen a few people in here in a long time. So they came here for you. I got to tell you that. So you got to put some respect on your name, Tony, because you're doing big things. Because you're a good person, man. Good people go far in this world. So thank you so much, guys. So for anyone out there to be on top of your stuff, Instagram, Next Level Morphs, the best way, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's it.
Right. Guys, please give it up. My man Tony B, Next Level Morphs, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, enjoy your night, buddy. You deserve it. Have a good night, man.
You too. Thank you, guys.
Peace out. What a good guy. Good people, man. You know, it's just a humble side of him that I like, you know.
Yeah, guys like that. He's gonna make it, and he's gonna have a lot of good people with him, and going to bat for him. Great guy.
Yeah, and I want to say shout out to Troy, shout out to Jacob, shout out to Antoine, like Andrew Redwood, Jerome, I want to say shout out to those people for taking care of someone like this, because that's how we keep people in the game. You know what I mean? And people who are meant to be in the game. So it's all very important. And like I said, man, I will say this to the day I die. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And it's when you know those right people, it's where you go. You go places, you know.
Your circle, man.
Yeah, your circle, bro. Your circle's everything. So great episode, Emilio. Thank you so much for you giving us your time tonight. What do you have to say to all the love and support out there, the V Unit family, the trappers, anyone new who heard you tonight that's rocking with you? What you got to say to everyone out there, bro?
Love all you guys, and thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting the fam. You know, let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep taking it to the next level.
All right. Do me a favor, guys. Follow my man, Villarino Reptiles on IG. And if you're in Florida, you best tap into the V Unit, fam. It's kind of like a one-on-one at this point. So, hey, I appreciate you, dog. Have a good night. Everyone, please give it up for Big E Top G. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, man.
All right, bro. Thanks for not leaving. Oh, he left. Just kidding. Woo! Man, my fucking shit hurts. Guys, thank you so much. Like I said, very inspiring to see someone like Tony just kind of get where he's at, even though there's still so much more on his journey. Like, he's just starting, right? But humble individuals like this who just surround themselves with good people and are just happy to be a part of this, man, what more can you want out of somebody? So it's pretty awesome to see. It's beautiful to see that the ball python game is more fun than ever right now, okay? So if you're around people who aren't having as much fun in the ball python game, or do you feel like a lot of like negativity about ball python, dude, don't be a part of that, man. Break away. There's plenty of other people out there who are having a good time right now with ball pythons. So go be a part of those people and come grow with us, because it's a good time. So thank you to everyone who tapped in again. Hit that like button from my man Tony B. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed tonight's episode. If you hit the notification bell, select all, you'll be on top of every single podcast that I drop here. Also, this will be released on all the audio platforms, Buzzsprout, Apple, Google Podcasts, all the major audio platforms. So wherever you listen to Trap Talk, thank you so much. Drop a comment, give me some feedback. Exclusive content. If you want to grow your network, if you want to meet some amazing people, look no further than joining the Trap Talk Patreon family. Tony's a part of the family. Emilio's a part of the family. Come join some relevant people, man, and you'll grow your network and you'll just have a good time even more. But Trap Talk Patreon members, I love you guys. Come join the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord. Taps you with over 185 people, man. We are growing. So thank you. All the love and support. I'm fucking beyond blessed. So, but we're going to take this shit to the top, man. Big week ahead of us. All right. Dude, can you believe I'm closing out the Fat Snake Tuesdays? No longer the final episode of Fat Snake Tuesdays happening tomorrow night. So definitely check that out, because we have someone who's coming to the Trap Talk Roundtable to kind of explain what he's doing right now. My man, Rob. Rob works for Canova now. What? He went from fucking retics to ball pythons, but still a retic guy. Oh, best belief, still a retic guy. But we're going to get down to business with my man, Rob, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you hang out. And then, of course, my man, Brock Wagner, for that round 3, baby. Episode 412. Brock's bringing in pure fashion. We're going to be talking a lot of Sunset for sure, and just other amazing projects that Brock's tackling. And yeah, I can't wait to catch up with my man, Brock. But guys, thank you. Have a good night. And again, go follow my man, Tony B. Next Level Morphs. It's the future right here, man. Best believe it. Have a good night. I'll see you guys at the top, and I'm out.